Guys, I'm not sure if you've heard, but holy man, there is a lot of stuff going on inside of AEW. We've talked for pretty much about 3 hours throughout the stream today of all the stuff that's going on backstage. But let's try to break this all down moment by moment. This all started last night, all right? So if you don't know what happened, basically CM Punk was at a press conference and he had some choice words for the Elite. Now, the Elite are the executive vice presidents of AEW, and CM Punk obviously is a talent. He is not an executive vice president. These are his bosses. Now, this is what CM Punk briefly had to say about it.
Late 2013. And the fact that I have to sit up here because we have irresponsible people who call themselves EVPs and couldn't fucking manage a target, and they spread lies and bullshit and put into a media that I got somebody fired when I have fuck all to do with him.
So that is what Punk had to say about the whole situation. He is obviously irate. Now, this is what started off the whole press conference, okay? Punk talking about Colt Cabana, the issues that Punk and Colt Cabana have dating all the way back to, I think, 2015, 2014, something like that, maybe even earlier than that. This all stems from that. CM Punk was very upset and also calling out the Elite. Now, afterwards, we found out that there was some sort of altercation, and Fightful Select broke this as it was going down. Basically, the Young Bucks wanted to confront CM Punk, and it was rumored that Kenny Omega was involved with this as well. But we later found out that there was actually two separate altercations going on. The first one between Punk and the Bucks. The second one between Kenny Omega and Ace Steel. If you don't know who Ace Steel is, he is that guy who appeared on AEW Dynamite, showed up in the promo with Punk, basically kicked him in the ass and lit a fire under him and brought Punk back before the All Out match. Now, the first situation here, Punk was in his locker room apparently after he said all this stuff at the press conference, and the Young Bucks confronted CM Punk in his locker room. It is rumored that Punk threw the first punch, and a bit of a tussle ensued. Along the way, somewhere, don't know how, don't know when, don't know why, but Ace Steel has been reported as throwing a chair in the face of Nick Jackson, giving him a black eye. This is a shoot. He used a weapon to attack a EVP. Not good. There is possible legal ramifications to come out of this. Ace Steel is lucky he isn't arrested. This is assault, if everything went down the way that it's being reported. Then also apparently Ace Steel got into a confrontation with Kenny Omega at some point along the way, but this one is also a little murky. The report out there is that Kenny Omega got bit by Ace Steel and that Ace Steel was pulling his hair. So just childish stuff. But yeah, Ace Steel seemingly flew off the deep end, like just straight up gone. That's kind of the latest on the situation. There was a brawl, and now apparently the locker room is completely divided. There's people who are siding with CM Punk. There's people who are siding with the Young Bucks and Kenny Omega. And there's also a lot of people who were rumored to have left the arena by the time that this brawl had ensued. Makes sense. It was the end of All Out. They had a long day. It was like 5 hours, 6 hours, whatever the length the pay-per-view was. They needed to go home. And so a lot of people had cleared out of the building. But the people that were back were rumored to be very upset, and backstage was in complete shambles. And if you're wondering what WWE's reaction to all of this is, a lot of people seem to think that this is CM Punk just being CM Punk. Punk has had a lot of issues throughout his career when it comes to interacting with other wrestlers. He is known to be a bit of a bad egg from time to time. He is known to take his business very, very seriously, which, you know, everybody should in the wrestling business, but at the same time, he sometimes takes it too seriously and believes everybody is going into business for themselves. At least that's what these reports are alluding to. That Punk believes Hangman Adam Page went into business for himself, and that's part of the reason he is upset with Hangman. People are saying that this would not fly inside of WWE because Vince McMahon basically laid it all on the line and said, if there is any crap like this that happens, you're going to be fired. Apparently, there was also a lot of cussing and shouting while this was going on. And if you were watching the press conference, you'll have seen at some point that one of the security guards did leave the room shortly after Punk left the room as well. I think it was Swerve and Our Glory were up there doing their little interview. But the wheels are falling off, man. AEW has a lot of issues, a lot of drama right now, and it's not good because coming out of AEW All Out, you would expect them to be talking all about MJF versus CM Punk. That's what you would be expecting them to be talking about, but that's not what we're talking about. I highly doubt that this is a work as of this moment. It seems like all the reports are alluding to the fact that this is a real fight. Eventually, it'll probably be turned into a work. Eventually, this will probably be turned into a storyline because it has to. It's wrestling. You would be dumb not to turn this into some sort of storyline. But from everything we have learned, from all the reports out there, thanks to Fightful Select and, of course, others, we can say that this situation is very hostile and it's not good. There's a divide in the locker room in AEW right now. But we will definitely keep you guys updated. So make sure you drop that like. Everybody in the chat, say hi to YouTube. I can't believe what this situation is. I can't believe that we just had a pay-per-view and we're not talking at all about the pay-per-view. We're talking about the post-media scrum. Wild stuff. But stay tuned right here on this channel for more information. Come on over to my live streams if you guys want to be up to date in live time. Thank you for watching. Drop that like on this video. Make sure you're subscribed, and we'll see you for the next one. And hopefully AEW is still a thing later this week.